The snake people couldn't believe their eyes as they saw a battered man making his way down the stream. It was clear from his bruises and the way he moved that he had been in a fierce battle. As he approached the heart of the island, he paused, attracting the attention of snakes of every shape and size, all curious about this stranger. "I demand to see your queen," he announced loudly. The word spread quickly among the snakes. "Queen Asa, a man is asking for you." Queen Asa felt a mix of surprise and irritation. They were on the brink of war, and this unexpected visitor seemed like an unwanted distraction. She thought maybe another lost human, as per their tradition, had wandered into their territory. When she finally approached the man, he spoke in a voice that sent a shiver down her spine, a voice she recognized.
"Queen Asa, I bring you a gift, a token of my respect for what you've achieved here. I ask to join your ranks."
"Osei," she breathed, hardly recognizing him through his injuries. Before she could react, two heads rolled to her feet, hunter heads. The crowd fell into stunned silence. Osei's bold act was more than a challenge. It was a clear message. This was no longer just about a war with the hunters. It was about changing the rules of the game. To grasp the full story behind this intense moment, we need to start from the very beginning. You are watching the Tales of the Savanna. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now let's get back to the story. Osei sat on a rock, watching Isa walk away from the cave they had called home for so long. They had been together for many years, and he knew a day might come when Isa would decide to leave. He just didn't think it would happen so suddenly. The breakup felt all wrong, like bad timing. He wished she had given him more time. Part of him wanted to run after her, to leave everything behind and go with her to create Snake Island, a place she always talked about. But he couldn't make himself do it. Osei had always wanted more freedom. Isa was always too careful, telling him not to make eye contact with people, to avoid certain places because they might be noticed. "The lady at the fish stall is suspicious of us. We need to stay away from there," Isa would say. And so they stayed safe, but to Osei, it felt too controlled. Now that Isa was gone, he thought he would feel free, but instead, he felt an unexpected grief. Sitting alone in the cave, freedom didn't feel exciting. It felt lonely. Isa's cautious ways had kept them safe, and without her, the world seemed bigger and lonely. Osei realized that what he thought was holding him back was actually what made him feel secure. The cave, once filled with their laughter and stories, now echoed with silence. At first, Osei was even more careful than he had been when he was with Asa. It was like Asa's ways had stuck with him, making him extra watchful. But as he started doing well on his own, he began to relax a bit. He had heard rumors about Asa gathering all the snake people for a meeting. "Maybe I'll check it out, just to see how she's doing," Osei thought, a hint of a smile on his face. But he didn't like how thoughts of Asa would just barge into his mind, distracting him. "Does she ever think of me?" he wondered. There she was again, in his thoughts uninvited. Osei shook his head, trying to shake off the memory. He needed something, or someone, to distract him. Maybe finding a new partner would help, someone to fill the gap Asa left. Or perhaps he should embrace being hunted, to turn the tables on those who hunted his kind for fun. A wicked smile spread across Osei's face, igniting a spark in his eyes. This would be his calling, his defiance against the hunters. Osei started getting ready for a fight with the hunters. He worked on his skills and got better at hiding in nature. He made tools and weapons from things found in the wild, using old secrets handed down for many years. He was determined to be ready when the hunters came. Deep down, Osei felt a bit jealous of Asa's success. He had hoped she would come back to him, needing him, but that was just a dream now. She had succeeded in creating a safe place for her people and more. Osei thought maybe he had held her back from doing even greater things. Sadness filled his eyes. "I'll do this then," he decided. "I'll fight the hunters. I'll become a legend to my people and earn Asa's respect." So he started taking risks, showing his snake eyes to people at the market and changing form in front of farm workers. He was sure the hunters would come for him. Then, one night, he felt something change. The hunters had found him. "Can you smell him?" one hunter asked another. "Yes, the scent is getting stronger," the other replied. "I'm usually excited for a hunt, but I'd rather be in the capital this time." "Did you hear they found Snake Island?" "Yes, I heard," said the first hunter. I wonder why they sent us here when we're getting ready for war." Osei listened to their talk, his will to fight weakening. He thought of leaving immediately, going to Snake Island to warn Queen Asa about the hunters' plans. But first, he thought, a cold smile spreading across his face, "I'll bring Queen Asa an offering, the head of one of these arrogant fools, or maybe two." Osei hissed, transforming into a massive snake, and launched himself at the hunters. This battle was more than just survival. It was about making a statement that he was not only a fierce warrior, but also a guardian of his people. Fighting with the force of 10 men, Osei struck swiftly and powerfully. He usually enjoyed drawing out the battle, savoring each moment as he outmaneuvered his foes. But this time was different. Driven by a need to prove his strength and protect his kind, he was relentless. The hunters fought back bravely, as they always did. They were skilled and prepared, but they couldn't match Osei's intensity. He was a man on a mission, fueled by a mix of vengeance, protection, and a deep desire to earn Asa's respect. One by one, the hunters fell before him, overwhelmed by his sheer power and the precision of his attacks. Osei moved through them like a force of nature, unstoppable and fierce. This victory wasn't just for him. It was a message to all who dared threaten his people. As Asa took in the sight of Osei and his grim offering, a smile found its way across her face. She had thought their paths would never cross again. She had imagined this reunion in her dreams, yet she had never envisioned it to be so dramatic. "Welcome home, Osei," she said, wrapping him in an embrace. The onlookers watched, puzzled by the unfolding scene. Questions buzzed among them. Who was this man, and how did their queen know him? Yet, despite their confusion, one thing was unmistakably clear. Osei was a formidable presence, a legend in his own right, whose actions spoke of a warrior not just returning, but declaring his loyalty and strength to their cause. Meanwhile, in a secret chamber far from the eyes of the world, Cabo stood before the Council of Elders, sword in hand, his resolve as solid as the steel he wielded.
"Council members, I greet you,"
he announced, his voice echoing with authority.
"It is time we put an end to the snake people to ensure the safety of our people and uphold the sacred duty entrusted to us by our ancestors."
The war against the snake people was imminent, and Cabo, with the council's backing, was at the forefront, ready to lead them into the mists of a legendary war. And that, my tribe members, is the end of yet another tale in our Snake Island series. Watch our story Becoming Snake Queen to uncover the story of Asa. Also, delve deep into the world of the snake people in our Snake Island series. Now for the lesson of the day. The African proverb that echoes through our tale is "a single bracelet does not jingle." This proverb perfectly mirrors Osei's path, highlighting his shift from walking his journey alone to understanding the significant impact of unity and collaboration. And as always, thank you for watching our story, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savanna. We will see you next time in the Savanna.